Item number 3, presentation by Mario Gouveia and Noe Martinez from Gouveia Engineering, the water system update.
Want to tag team it? Sure. I'll do one, you do one. Good evening, Mayor, Council, members of the public, Mario Gouveia and Noe Martinez, city engineers. Tonight we'll do a water system update presentation. So the first one on the TCP progress, I'm sure you know the project number 1 was completed. That's the well 14 and 16 project that was completed a few years back. Project number 2 is one of the centralized plants, is at the Arakelian Park. It's focused also on TCP for wells 12, 13, 17, and includes a 1 million gallon semi-buried storage tank. Project number 3 is at the well 8 site. Now will be well 8A, and there'll be an expanded centralized treatment plant for TCP for wells 8, 9, 18, and also includes a storage tank, 1.5 million gallons. Updates on that: the Water Board has indicated in early 2025 that the $27 million grant, that the funding agreement would be coming to the city around the first quarter of 2026. Since then, they have updated that to reflect that that may be coming to the city on the second quarter of 2026. Even with those, with that schedule, it's still estimated that completion would be in 2028, and that's what we had prior. So that at this point, that's still the completion for those projects. We'll take that one.
Yeah, to give a quick update on the well number 8 project. As you can see there on the slide, construction is anticipated to be completed by fiscal year 25-26. At this point, we're still, the project's still waiting for delivery on Tesco equipment. And as you can see in the bullet, project is now expected to be completed by May of next year. As a result of that, the arsenic treatment component of the project is in design and will be constructed concurrently with the TCP treatment plant, as Mario mentioned earlier. Also, to note, the arsenic treatment vessels have been procured by the city, and an agreement with the supplier has been executed. Delivery of the vessels is anticipated to occur this summer of next year.
Moving on to well 18. Well 18 will be located at Lucero Park here, and it'll produce water that will go to the treatment plant at well 8A to be treated. So it's a raw water line that'll go from here to the wells, to the TCP treatment site. There was a test well that was done earlier this year, and the production well is in design, and it's expected to go out to bid in the second quarter of 26. As I mentioned, this is a new well. There's a building, emergency backup generator, some site surface improvements, and a raw water line to well 8A to be treated.
Yes, and another project that's in the works is well number 19. This well this project would include a new well, a well building, TCP removal treatment facilities, emergency backup generator, and site surface improvements. A test well for this project was completed in 2022, and the project is currently unfunded, but the city is pursuing SRF funding, and a general package of the application has already been submitted to the state for consideration.
And lastly, an update on water line replacements. There was one done in 25, which was the I Street water line replacement that was completed in the spring or summer. And the one that's outstanding is phase 4, estimated at about $2.5 million. The project is also currently unfunded, but the city is pursuing possible funding with CDBG and or other funds, city funds. But I believe that there's a good possibility that CDBG will be able to fund this, and that's through a grant. If that's funded, it'll be 100% grant. And I think that's the presentation, and we'll be glad to answer any questions.
Council, are there any questions at this time? Before I go out for public comment.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
Gentlemen, thanks for the presentation. We've spoken about this briefly, and I've never dug deeper on it. But there was a brief comment made once about, depending on what type of equipment we're ordering, there may be a limited number of manufacturers that actually produce that equipment, which can cause delays in lead times depending on what their capacity looks like. This is going to be relevant to our legislative platform conversation later. And so with the electrical equipment that the contractor said has been delayed, as far as you know, is there a limited number of manufacturers within that equipment space, and is that at all contributing to the delays?
It's somewhat limited because it's a specialty, but there's a few around, half a dozen or so that provide that now. Tasco is a well-known outfit, had a great reputation. Most of the controls in most of the cities around here are Tasco. Cities are starting to feel a little differently about Tasco and are looking at pursuing other options.
And then if not for that electrical equipment, do you know, just outstanding, if there is certainly a limited number of manufacturers and any suppliers that contribute to this infrastructure that tend to cause delays or tend to cause long lead times?
Probably, yeah. I couldn't be specific on that, but yeah, it's a specialty field.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I'll probably follow up about that at some point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you go back to slide number 2, please? For item number 2, the Arakelian Park centralized treatment plant, do we have, I know it's pretty hard, but do we have an expectation date of completion?
Yeah, it's the project 2 and project 3, they're packaged into that $27 million. So it's basically it's 2 projects, they're like twins, but they're together, and they'll be funded through that $27 million grant.
Yes, and then so the estimated completion for both of these projects
It's the 28.
estimated 28,
Estimated 28.
but realistically thinking, and then it's never really gets done on the estimated date for the most part, and I understand that part. But to my question is, because in this project, specifically to item number 2, we have the $1 million monies that were provided by the office of, from the state through the office of Senator Caballero. I think, do you know, and if not, it's okay, I'm not expecting for you to know, also for Mr. Ramirez, but if there are any guidelines as to by when do we have to use those funds, if not, we risk of having to return it, but keeping the estimated completion date of 2028. If it's 4 years, we're going to be cutting it pretty short. If it's 5, we might be kind of okay. But, you know, just for everyone to be mindful and remember that, because I believe we got that back in 24.
I believe it was 24. Yeah.
So, you know, from 24 to 28 is going to be 4 years. If it's 4 years, if it's 5, then, you know, so just I don't know if you have that answer. If not, I'm not expecting it, really.
I think no, it may know.
Yeah, and maybe also we'll have a city manager chime in on this. But yeah, to answer the question, those ARPA funds were allocated to the arsenic treatment plant. Oh, the Caballero funds. Yeah.
It was not ARPA funds. I'm sure about that.
Sorry about that. Okay.
But
But
the
is for the vessels.
yeah, but the key point here is the word encumbered. So, you know, the money can't be floating, it has to be encumbered. So as long as the money's encumbered, even if it's, you know, over the date, there shouldn't be any issues. But we'll find out, because if it was 24, you know, they usually give you a 4 to 5 year window.
Oh, okay. I believe it's 2027, maybe sometime in December of 2027. To exhaust the funds. I think they gave us 3 years to exhaust those funds.
Okay, so we got to be able to keep that in mind so that
Right.
we don't
Correct.
lose it. All right, so can you go to slide, I think it's, well, just, can you go forward?
Yeah, we can go to 3, because that's the one with the ARPA, like here.
Yes,
Yeah.
so 8A,
This is the one that we just got the city to approve this, I don't know, a few months ago. And that's for the vessels. So those are, they have been ordered, they're in submittal process, and that's the, they'd be here in like 6 months or so.
okay. Can you, well, this one, 8A, so if I remember correctly, 8A was, this is the second site for 8A, right?
Yeah, it's same site,
Yeah.
it's a couple hundred feet away from each other.
Yeah, just, it's a different site. All right, so we did a test, we drilled a test on the previous one, and then we had a high arsenic.
Yeah, arsenic.
High arsenic, and then that's how, you know.
Yeah, the test showed that was fine, and then later on.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then when we did the test, the testing sample,
Right.
we were in the process of looking to purchase that land, and then we didn't, so we left that behind because, but anyway, so we moved to this new site. And then, can you go to,
I think the land that you're referring to, I think was for well 18, which was behind
Was
the
it
car
18?
wash. Yeah.
okay,
Because 8A has always been that same site, which is the same as 8, and it's
okay,
the same
just right
site.
next to it, got it.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
that one right
yeah.
next to it. Yeah.
I think you're right.
I think you're thinking of 18 was
18,
going to be
yeah.
behind the car wash,
Yes.
and
yes.
that was never negotiated. So that's the one that we moved to Lucero Park. So that's
Correct.
Yeah, it's slide 4. Yeah, right there.
Too many wells, too many years, I
Yeah,
get
no,
them mixed up.
a lot of different numbers. Yeah.
All right.
So that's yeah. So that's the one that is going to get treated at well 8 site, which is kind of around the corner here
Yes.
off of Main
Yeah.
Street.
All right, can you go to the next slide? I think it's in regards to well 19, if I have, okay,
Yeah.
that one. So there was a test well completed in 2022,
Yeah. Yes.
and is this piece of land already owned by the city?
No, this is owned by Foster Farms.
Okay.
So the city would need to secure an easement for that. The easements have been surveyed and prepared. They were not, recorded.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
But they do exist. At that time, the folks from Foster Farms were working with the city to move this forward, and then Foster Farms changed management,
And then sin-
ownership.
Yeah, and then since that initial test well was done back, actually probably, I don't know,
22,
yeah, so almost 4 years ago,
yeah,
do you think there's going to be any difference? in-
probably. It would probably be wise to do another test well.
Different one?
A different one in the same general area.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially given what happened with 8A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be wise to consider, well, and then again, I don't know what came first, the egg or the chicken? I guess one question is, would it be wise to even look at the possible cost of what the land is going to cost, and even if they're interested to sell? Because why would we do a test well if they're not interested, which is going to happen
Yeah.
the same thing, I think, to 18, or,
Right.
I don't know.
And the test well was done in 22 when everybody was all interested in working together. So now if the city was to do another test well, yeah, there's certain things that the city would need to take care of first.
yeah, but anyways, maybe that's a question that we can talk about later, because it's not something that is agendized when it comes to land purchases or anything like that.
Correct, yeah.
So I'll,
Yeah. And we're also looking, if you recall from the presentation in, oh gosh, I forgot, was it May? That the city was looking at other options in terms of siting a well and looking at some on the north side of the city, some on the south side of the city. Yeah. That's what I think I have that here somewhere.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. We may want to look into other areas to where we can pull test wells and check the water quality in different
Right.
areas.
I think the battery is, because it kills the mic, so it's probably the battery.
You hear me now? Yeah, I was going to bring up the same thing Mario just mentioned, and that the city, we may want to look at other locations to drill a few test wells and not have all our eggs in one basket, especially if Foster Farms isn't going to be willing to negotiate that land.
Yeah.
Just a recommendation.
And I found that was from May 6th. And those locations where we're looking possibly at the old well 18 location behind the car wash, if the city would look into negotiating with Foster Farms to purchase that or lease it or whatever. Another one would be Arakelian. There's actually an old well there. I think it had a lot of arsenic or something in it. It's abandoned, but it's a good site. It's on the south side. We would prefer to do more things on the north side, but Arakelian would be another option. Don Meyer Park would be another option, and then I think there's a room at the 1 million gallon tank site off of Burgundy, I think it is. Yeah. So that, and I think the city owns some land that's not being used now adjacent to that. So that is another possibility. Of course, I'm sorry? And the Max, yeah, it's not here for some reason, but Max Foster's a huge location, so you could consider that.
All right, so, yes, so those are all the questions that I have at this time. Is there any other any council questions at this time before I go out for public comment? So at 8:10, I will go out for, or if you could ask a question? Yeah, that's what. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. You're saying that the completion date would be,
Oh, there you go. There you go.
yeah, it says the completion date is, summer 2026 and so forth, May and that. That's for the hardware completion, I believe. when do you think the wells would actually go online?
That's when it would go online. Summer of '26.
I mean, we would have our players from the state to put it online and everything by then?
Yes.
It would be May. As soon as the Tesco equipment is.
Yeah, because it's expected in May, and this is why I was slightly, and you guys are the experts, says May of
May of
2026.
'26, yes.
But the delivery of the vessels is 2020
Yeah,
summer.
that's,
So that's why I was kind of like,
yeah, that's like a
how
different.
could you get that completed before the vessels arrive or
that's-
vessels are connected? I was kind of like,
The vessels is for the arsenic treatment that will go at the well 8 site. Let's see if I, so the arsenic treatment vessels have been procured by the city, and there's an agreement for this and that. So here's the arsenic treatment component of the project is in design and will be constructed concurrently with the TCP plan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does that
so,
make any sense?
yeah, Gopal, your question is a great question. So we've actually coordinated already with the water board on how this new well 8 is going to get put online, and we haven't given information as to how they would allow the city to put the well online while the arsenic equipment is
and
procured.
that was the reason because state is,
It's
Very
an interim
unforgiving.
condition, yeah.
before they certify for it to be online.
Sure, sure.
And to me, I was like, I was kind of confused on that.
Right. The state allows you to blend water, so it will allow you to use that well 8A, knowing that there's some arsenic in it, but overall into the system, it will be under the state regulations, with the understanding that the arsenic treatment is coming.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I didn't think about the blending component of it.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right,
yeah.
thank you very much.
Sure.
Mr. Mayor, really quickly, those blended rates are still expected to be within the standards for arsenic
Yeah,
limits?
Title 22, yeah.
Yeah, they have to meet the MCL limits, and so it has to meet the Title 24 drinking standards. If you can go to slide, well, this relates to the water line replacement.
Yeah, that's like 6, I think. Yeah, it's 6.
So as council might know, we went ahead and went out to RFP for a consultant to go after, CDBG funding. So at this point, the latest information, I know the state keeps kicking the date on the NOFA, which is the Notice of Funding Availability. And so right now, it looks like it's going to be April of this next year, which doesn't really give a big window. But, and then I know that there's going to be a NOFA that's going to be coming out, later in the year.
Yeah, it's in the fall, the next.
In the fall, okay. So, do you think, would engineering have enough time, given all these different pieces, dynamics, so if the NOFA does come out in April, as they're saying, for you guys to position, this particular project for funding, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this dollar amount is about 3.5 million?
Yeah, it's for the available CDBG money, I think it's 3.3,
All right,
which would cover this
which would
project,
cover this
obviously.
particular
Yeah.
project.
Yes, it would. Yeah, the NOFA is actually out, and then the April deadline is to have plans to to CDBG with the application, so.
And
then
do
there
they
would
have to be completed plans?
They have to be almost completed.
Almost complete.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because, CDBG continuously makes adjustments on, requirements and things of that nature. So in this particular case, almost completed. And so for your office, you would just need what, a task order and would you, but the question here is whether or not you guys have enough time to put in for this one, or should we go after the fall? And I believe the fall is 5 million?
The fall is 5 million, yes.
Yeah.
And the fall, it'll come out in the fall. They'll be due probably early 20. We don't know those dates yet, and Paul doesn't know that. It probably will be due early 20 7, and then you would, it takes them a few months to go through these and either approve them or not approve them. So like the one
Well,
that's...
the good thing about CDBG is if you don't get it in the first round, you get loser points for the second round.
Yes.
And even if you applied for the first one, you really can't play for the second because they want you to have expended your money, and which is really hard to do in that short period of time because they don't like to stack.
Yeah,
So-
CDBG is doing that now. It's kind of a new thing that they're...
So engineering would be, would we go after money in April or would we go after money in fall?
Either of those. If we would have, April is fairly tight, but we do have the capacity to do that. Water lines won't be that complicated.
Okay, so then we'll just issue a task order and you guys can shoot for the April
If
date.
that's the city's wishes, sure.
Yeah, it's Council's prerogative here.
All right, so we just have to make sure, since this is a public hearing, we cannot provide direction at this time.
Yeah.
So, but I will go out for public questions or comments in regards to the public hearing. Is there anyone on the phone at this time, 8:18? Hearing none, coming back into the chamber. Is there any questions, comments in the chamber? Seeing none, closing it, bringing it back to our dais at 8:18. Okay. Thank you for reminding me not to give direction, but I'll save it for later. Any other questions, comments on the dais? All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.